right.
We're live now?
Yes, we are.
We are.
Excellent. All right. So if you're tuning in right now, you'll be able to skip about 2 minutes into the future. If you're coming from watching this after it's already gone through, skip 2 minutes in the future, ought to be hitting right about the sweet spot of the theme song. Mark, are you here on time?
I am.
You get a gold star. Excellent, sir. How's the day going for you? Oh wait,
Not bad.
I should save the banter because it's in the name, banter.
Yes,
So
but people are tuning in early just for this part.
people are already here.
I don't know, are they?
Crazy. I don't know. Let's see.
I don't see anybody yet.
Yep. So again, pregame. That way everybody knows it started.
And then we just stop talking.
Well, yeah, because that's the way to do best.
Yes.
Best radio.
For a
Well, we have to
mostly
figure out what we
audio
want to
medium.
Banter about.
Well, you want to save the best.
Now there's
banter.
pressure. Now I feel like I have to do it. Now maybe I don't want to.
And Tim Turner is here.
Hey there, Tim.
All right. And
I'm doing this off a cell phone, so I can't see comments and stuff that people are putting up. So
Okay, I'll do a running play-by-play. and we're almost to 8:00. It's almost time for the magic hour. I should.
That's definitely pressure. You should probably stop sniffing right into the microphone.
Sniffing. Nothing better. Nothing better than that.
I know, right?
Just everyone notices. For everyone to note, one of the Mrs. biggest hates is mouth noises.
It's the radio thing.
It is, and it's 8:00.
Oh my God! Is it 8:00?
It's movie sign.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bants and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome everyone to the 83rd live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from an undisclosed location hidden deep beneath the surface of the earth. With me, as always, is Mark.
hey, everyone.
And the missus, who's decided to go into hiding.
And everyone knows it.
She's going to speak through the...
That's
through
right. Just through sound
bits.
bites. Mm-hmm.
It's been done before.
Pardon me for waking you.
That like came through my headphones in like a completely different dimension. I don't know what happened with that.
So, Mark, how was your week?
Oh, it was good because I actually took some time off and went on vacation. A little, very brief weekend vacation with my wife.
And you went to Las Vegas, right?
Yes, lovely Las Vegas.
And how much
And I
Elvis
say
was
that-
involved?
I say that because it was in the 70s and 80s down there as opposed to the 40s as up here in Idaho. And it wasn't raining either, so
How was Penn and Teller?
it was good. It was a fun show. Very
So,
humorous.
When we saw it, their finale act was to use 2 forklifts to shuffle a deck of steel cards that were made out of plate steel and do a card trick using plate steel cards. Oh, what was the finale?
I thought the finale was that
the bullet catch.
yes.
Oh yeah, well they did.
It was the bullet catch.
Yeah, it was the bullet catch. So
Yeah.
what was your grand finale?
Okay, our grand finale was a cow that had been dressed up as an elephant that they swore up and down was an elephant, and they made it disappear.
They made a cow disappear.
Yeah, no, it was an elephant.
Oh,
It may
sorry.
have, it may have been, it
And
may have had the
everyone knows
markings
it.
of a Jersey cow, but it was an elephant.
Excellent,
They made it
excellent.
quite clear it was an elephant. We all needed to say that and tell
And
everyone
everyone knows it.
that.
That's my new sound bite this week.
So was Penn Jillette still thin?
I'm sorry.
Was Penn Jillette still thin?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Actually, he opened. So before the show, they were playing live jazz music.
Mhm.
And we were, back a ways, so couldn't really see clearly who it was. But they started like zooming in on these the screens that they had, and suddenly realized that it was Penn on the double bass there,
Pin on the
strumming
bass.
along.
There you go. And just goes
Pin
to
what on the
show.
bass?
That's why he shops at Bass Pro Shops.
See.
Okay. Well, we didn't do anything nearly so exciting. Let's see. There was prom, but we didn't go. So yeah, that was about the high point of the evening or the weekend.
Yeah, it really was. Well, we get to see Pugsley in a tux, which was nice. He cleans up well.
I got to be his manservant in ballet, buttoning up his shirt. All right. We have some minor
What?
news.
And you didn't put the "kick me" sign on the back of his tux there?
No, he's so earnest. Yeah, he's so
Oh, okay.
absolutely earnest. It's all right. There's some minor news going on in the news media.
Oh, wait, no, we have to start out with that other thing that I didn't put on the list, remember? No, clearly you don't. Okay, so there was
You doesn't remember because it wasn't on the list.
I know it wasn't on the list, even though we talked about it earlier tonight.
The funny thing is,
That I've already played part of the clip three times.
It was weird yesterday. The missus just started yelling at me. You never listen to me, and I went, "That's a weird way to start a conversation."
Right. Yeah.
And everyone knows it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so this was the House Intelligence Committee, I think, some Intelligence Committee. I don't have it written down in front of me either, but Eric Swalwell was speaking, and I'll just play the clip because here's what happened after that.
Now I recognize the gentlelady from Georgia, Miss Green.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it.
So Eric Swalwell had been speaking right before that, and then they called on her, and that's what she opened her comments with. You want to hear it again?
Now I recognize the gentlelady from Georgia, Miss Green.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it.
Bang.
Yes. And so Swalwell, of course, was visibly upset by this. He demanded that she take those comments back. She refused to do it, so she was essentially given the silent treatment. They wouldn't let her talk for the rest of the meeting.
And everyone knows it.
What they should have done is they should have made her wear one of those dog cones of shame.
There you go. There
Again,
you go.
I think it's I think it's a little bit hilarious, and she was justly punished because.
But she got her dig in, and that's the important thing.
And everyone knows it.
Oh, Swalwell. Can you imagine when he got back to the office? That drywall will never be the same. So is that all we had on that bit?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now,
Okay.
now you can go into the written part.
Okay. Some minor news going on in the news media. Tucker Carlson, host of Tucker Carlson Tonight on Fox News, has left the network. The creepy newsbot has the story.
Fox News on Monday parted ways with Mr. Carlson after disparaging remarks he made about colleagues were disclosed during a legal battle with Dominion voting systems. In sum, Mr. Carlson complained about colleagues and Fox executives and said he hated former President Donald Trump.
Oh, that's just awful.
I know something wrong with the news bot.
And your copy that you wrote is wrong. And I will correct it. According to the Wall Street Journal, Carlson heard the news. He heard the news today. Oh boy, only 10 minutes before the Fox announced it. Okay. And the network plans to pay out the remainder of his current contract, renewed in 2021, which amounts to about 20 million a year. So, 18 months, that's 30 million bucks. Carlson is not hurting. And he has made public comments about it. And it's
Has
on
when I
his
wrote
Twitter
this
feed.
yesterday, he had
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
So
But it's on his Twitter feed as of like 20 minutes ago. So here you are getting. I hate to say we're a comedy show that occasionally gives news, and so Carlson is okay. And there's more to this. The latest thing, there's like a thing every minute that
okay, well,
Carlson
would you
hints
just
at.
read a thing?
The first thing that he was doing was saying bad things about people, right? Then the second thing was torturing his producer, the person who's supposed to book the people onto the show. Turns
What was he
out,
making them listen to rap music or something?
well, turns out she's perhaps a member of a religion.
She was part of this. She was, I think, the one that there was the whole thing that he was making anti-Semitic remarks, and I think that she was the
Yes,
one that was involved in that. Yeah.
yes. Well, except for she's never been in the same room with him. Never one time been in the same room
Well,
with
you
him.
can still make disparaging remarks about someone if you've never met them. I do that about President
Yeah,
Biden all the time.
yeah, but if you read her comments carefully, though, she's complaining about other people or just a general attitude amongst
Yes.
the employees of his team. Not, I don't think she really has anything on him directly.
Well, and so she would come into the room and they had a Christmas tree up, and she would unplug the Christmas tree, and so they called her the Grinch. Literally, that was her complaint. And then
Uh,
because she did that, they bought in a smaller tree and they called it a Hanukkah bush, which is actually kind of
and she was deeply
oh
offended by that.
And everyone
oh,
knows it.
and everyone knows. It. So anyway, here's hoping that she has a. I'm hoping that she's not only vaxxed. I'm hoping she's triple boosted. Just saying.
Oh, of course,
Uh,
because you're concerned about her health, as anyone would be.
yep. But
Absolutely.
it turns out that Bombs and Bants had secret spies in Fox last week.
Last weekend, at Fox News headquarters, Rupert Murdoch finds his lunch is missing.
Now where is my Vegemite? I know I left it here in the employee refrigerator. It even had my name on it. In big letters. AUPERT. Now it's gone. I know someone ate it. Who ate it? Was it you, Hannity?
No, sir. Not me. I would never eat your food. Because you put your name on it. There it is. Right there. IUPERT.
Well, if it wasn't you, who was it?
I don't know. Ask Gutfeld.
Gutfeld, did you eat that?
Because I know that I am biased. Just like I know that I'm short or strikingly handsome. That's the difference. I don't pretend you'd mistake me for Edward R. Murrow. Mainly because he's dead. And still gets better ratings than Don Lemon.
You never give anyone a straight answer, Gutfeld. But I guess that means no.
Hey, here comes Carlson. Maybe he knows something about it. Mumbling and eating sounds.
Is that my Vegemite on your sandwich, Carlson?
No!
Yes, it is. And I don't think that's appropriate.
Shut up, who cares what you think? Cut off your little ponytail, shave, and, be a man.
You son of a motherless goat. That's it. You're fired.
And that's what really happened.
You heard it here. You know, the bad thing about getting Sean Hannity to act is that he reads the stage directions.
Even beyond that, I've never turned into Sean Hannity's radio broadcast and heard him talking like this.
That's
Normally
because he
talking
uses his
is
American. He uses his American accent.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever
And-
seen the actors, and actresses that you've seen in a show that you love, and then you see them on a talk show and their accent's completely different? Same deal.
He must be.
I
from
swear to
the-
God, that's the real Sean Hannity.
He must be from the Cambridge part of
The
New
full
York
BL.
City. So what do you think about losing the tuck? It's a tuck.
Well, I would note that there's almost as many different theories as to why he was let go as there are people reporting on it. That said, I think Fox is making a mistake, assuming that they want to stay in business. Because my thoughts are they're probably firing him because they want to attract more woke companies to advertise with them, but these companies aren't going to do that. It doesn't matter if they fire Tucker or not, because the Fox News is just indelibly associated with conservatism. So.
And really what they want is that they want a completely bland, non-controversial talk show host with Tucker's numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like wanting the Brady, wanting the Brady Bunch, but realizing no one wants to watch the Brady Bunch. And it's a sad thing.
Well, it's like wanting the Brady Bunch, but wanting to get the viewership of
Hey.
pornography online.
Hey, I like the Brady Bunch.
I'm not saying it's not likable.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So anyway.
But I'm just saying, if you had only two options of things to watch on the internet, the Brady Bunch or internet pornography, which one of those do you think would be more popular?
You can already watch most of those things on the internet.
And I can tell you which one's more popular. Yes.
Jan. And I'm just going to stop there before we get into a lot of trouble. Okay. Oh, God, we're leading right into Hunter Biden. Jesus. Remember when all those...
Yeah, nothing controversial.
Because I'm a crack smoker. Oh, wait, I'll better stop right there. Remember when all those really important intelligence guys signed the letter that stated they all thought the Hunter Biden laptop story had all the earmarks of Russian disinformation? Well, it turns out the person who set that letter in motion was Anthony Blinken, former partner of Blinken and Nod, and current Secretary of State, who at the time was a top campaign dog washer for Biden. And now there's a whistleblower who says there's been some serious foot dragging going on in the entire investigation. Of course, the most honest resident of the White House assures us he has nothing to do with any of this. Here's White House windsock, replacer of the Red Rhinoceros, Karen Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The president respects the rule of law and the independence of the Department of Justice. He believes that's what they should be. In this administration, we believe that it should be independent. So I'm not going to go beyond that. The Department of Justice will certainly deal with this issue.
Now, the picture I have of her is from a couple weeks ago, and I should have pulled the picture from this particular press conference, because every week when she gives these press conferences, her head is closer and closer to just laying down on the podium.
Well, and the other thing I've noticed is every week that she gives these, she looks closer and closer to looking like a Raggedy Ann doll.
Right. I've got to think she's been making copies of her resume on the office copy machine. I got to get a better job. Fast food would be better than this. Fewer people would be yelling at me.
Oh, my. So, again, we find that Donald Trump can be and will be arrested for anything, including ordering off the kids' meal at the drive-in in McDonald's. What do you think, Mark? Is he being unfairly accused? Is this like that movie with Tommy Lee Jones?
What movie?
I don't know. Just pick one. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Yes, of course he's being unfairly targeted, because the absolute worst thing in the minds of the elites is for a populist president to be elected, because that's the equivalent of the peasants are revolting.
Yeah, they stink on ice.
Well, speaking of stinking on ice, in case you haven't heard, resident of the White House, Brandon Magoo, has made it official.
The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too. This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
I think he missed.
So we can have less rights?
Yes. It should be reselection, not re-election. It's the same man who earlier this week said...
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children.
Well, that's
Right.
sounding.
Wasn't that
pretty
Lenin?
creepy
Wasn't
coming
that
from-
Lenin who said something like, give me your child for 4 years and they'll be a communist for life or something like that? I don't remember what the quote is.
Yeah, well, it's
That
doubly
would've been
creepy because
Stalin.
Yeah, whatever.
because
Same
Biden
diff.
likes to sniff children's hair.
Yes, he does.
The fact is that I don't remember.
Sorry, that wasn't the clip I thought it was. This is the one I wanted.
And what am I doing here?
There are just so many of them.
Well, it's
Why the
come
hell
out,
would I
number-
take a test?
It's come
Come
out
on,
that,
man.
Brandon Magoo is so popular that 75% of voters don't want him to run again because he's doing so well.
And
Yet,
50% of Democrats.
Yeah, and so I saw in the Atlantic, they said, "Oh my gosh, Trump running again? That's just going to lead towards a devastating loss for the Republicans." And I'm going, "Have you looked around?" And again, I think the Republicans could mess up almost this particular softball sort of election, but good heavens, they'd have to be the most incompetent party ever to do that.
Well, never underestimate the Republicans' ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yes.
And by the way, I do have the entire Biden re-election ad. If you want to watch parts of that, we can do that. Mark, chime in here and help me on this because he won't let me play it.
I want to watch it.
Well, you don't have to watch the whole thing. We can buy sides. We can pause it and make fun of it. That's our job,
All right.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Mark can't watch it.
Oh, right, because Mark's on his phone. He can hear it, though. You can hear that, right, Mark?
Well, no, I mean, I can watch a little bit.
Freedom.
I just have to
Personal
enlarge
freedom
it.
is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more important, nothing more
You're not
sacred.
really missing
That's
much.
from the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy. This shouldn't be a red or blue issue. To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally, and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it.
Does he ever tell
But
the
you know,
truth?
around
I
the
know,
country,
right?
MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those
MAGA extremists! Oh, my God!
that you paid for your
Cutting
entire
Social
life
Security,
while
yeah.
cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care to sit.
And honestly, even though Republicans had caved and said they absolutely wouldn't do that, I mean, for God's sakes, we've got to do something about Social Security. And I know as a Gen Xer, and all of us are Gen Xers here, I've known since I was, 4 or 5 years old, I was never going to get Social Security, even though I would have to pay in it for my entire life. But we have to do something about it. Otherwise, when it does come crumbling down, a lot of people are going to be very unhappy. So, anything to say about that, boys?
Oh man, I don't know. That's you're weighing two different things here. We could have say Social Security or have a major uprising of elderly people beating the establishment to death.
Beating hippies. That would be fun because who would punch an old person? Well, I mean, a Democrat would. But,
Leftists.
yeah. Leftists, duh.
I mean, come on. Where you got to pause right now. They're protesting that they can't kill babies in a state
Right.
they don't live in.
Exactly. And
But I sure would like to kill babies there.
And again, I just like Zach Braff from Scrubs, that guy. His quote on that is, I'm all for killing babies. I think it's an absolutely great idea. I just don't think women should be allowed to make that decision. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Back to the things that are important to Democrats.
Women can make. Banning books.
Oh, I missed the whole, which books we were banning. Let's see what, oh, I missed it. There it is. The Kite Runner, The Invisible Man, To Kill a Mockingbird, Toni Morrison. I never even heard the First to Die at the End. Seemed to be a lot of Toni Morrison books there.
Yeah, now they want to ban Kite Runner. I mean,
yeah, I know. I don't know anyone who wanted to ban Kite Runner. What?
Yeah, and Kite Runner is a book that is. It is my personal thought is Kite Runner is a book that is tied to leftist empathy, and they were just thrilled that a guy from Afghanistan could write. I mean,
and of course, and the bad guy in the book, you didn't read the book, but I did.
Oh,
did you? The bad guy in the book is blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
And there are plenty of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Afghans.
Yeah, but he's the bad guy. right?
Oh, yeah, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, we'll continue. So none of those books, no one has wanted to ban for what, 50 years?
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. But yet, the most active books being banned
Are ones that are against the
ba-
transgender stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes, and those are being banned. They're not picked up by the librarians because they won't bring them in the libraries in the first place, but they
Right.
are being banned by places like Amazon.
Yep. And Amazon right now is the public library for everyone. So if you can't sell your stuff on Amazon, you can't sell your stuff.
Yep.
And telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
Yes, and when the person you want to love is below the age of 18, yeah.
You better stay back from that.
No, I'm saying that should not be a thing. That's bad.
No, you're not even supposed to talk about that on YouTube.
I know. It's bad.
Even though a state senator in Minnesota wanted to make that completely illegal. But that's okay.
Yeah, right.
All
And then we hear Biden, who's announcing, and Kamala features nowhere in this except that she's visually in it. It's as if the Biden campaign wanted to say, it's okay, we know Joe is getting up there in age, but feel assured we've got a very strong contender. Should, God forbid it happens, but if it does, Kamala's there to take over. Top men. Where's my sound effect for that? What page am I on here? Where am I? What am I doing? How did I end up on the wrong page? I know. Oh, see, now I got to move everything.
This is the Mrs. Biden impression.
I know. No, here it is. What is?
And what am I doing here?
Exactly. See? Now I don't even see it. Where the hell did it go? Carry on. What can I say? See, I add stuff and then it moves stuff on my list, and so then I can't see it anymore because I forget what it's called.
Okay, now you've been completely...
I know. It's like we're talking technological stuff.
No, you're Biden.
What a dumbass!
Yeah, thank you. That's me.
All right.
Here we go. I found it.
We have top men working on it right now.
There we go.
Top men.
See, I know I could find it.
All right. Well, I've had enough of the Bidens. So shall we move on?
We made it 54 seconds into it too.
All right. She's gloating because
I am gloating. I'm doing a victory lap right now.
Yeah. All right, folks in Alaska got an early morning surprise last weekend in the middle of the usual visual awesomeness of the aurora. A baby blue spiral appeared. Turns out it was Elon Musk. Here's a report from KTUU Anchorage.
There is a fascinating spiral seen after midnight in the skies across the state. That has been the talk of social media today. Don Hampton, research associate professor at the University of Alaska Fairbanks Geophysical Institute, told Alaska's news source this phenomenon appears to be rocket engine exhaust from a SpaceX Transporter 7 mission. That mission began with a late Friday night launch from Southern California, adding another 51 satellites to the Starlink network. Hampton also says water vapor in the exhaust from the second stage engine freezes and catches high-altitude sunlight, effectively glowing and creating the spiral-like galaxy display.
Elon. He always thinks of us first.
Is there anything he can't make better?
That's right. He's made Twitter better.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mark, where are you at on Elon? Scared or not?
No, I'm not scared. I think he's a wonderful pioneer for space. We need him.
We really do. And you know, the funny thing is he makes NASA look so incompetent again and again and again. And I just love it that he just blows stuff up and goes, yep, that's kind of what we wanted. We knew it was going to blow up. We just wanted to know when it was going to blow up.
It just blew up much later than we expected, which was a win. Yeah.
Yeah, NASA's too risk averse to be in a cutting edge technology type field.
Yeah, they really are. But fortunately, they can. This is one of my favorites, and I got to bring this up whenever we talk about NASA. So we went, took the boys, and we went up to go into the path of the last eclipse. And so we're up there, and I'm reading, swear to God, that NASA has put together a book in Braille to explain the eclipse to blind kids. And I'm like, that's a perfectly wonderful thing to do. But you know what? It shouldn't be NASA spending money to put books into Braille for blind kids. Let educators do that. It just astonished me.
That's okay. Pretty soon, Elon will be building Chuck E. Cheese's on Mars. So,
Yep. Well, we have another bit though, don't we?
we do have another bit, and this is the reason that we had to watch at least part of the Biden announcement ad.
Oh yes.
Because we actually have the rough cut for that. Here it is.
America. It's a country. It's a country we live in. America. It's in North America. Population about 380 million. Major exports are what? Oh, right. The commercial. Yeah, forgot about that. What was I saying? January 6th. Terrible day. Terrible day. It was a terrible day because, wait, why was it a terrible day? All right, MAGA extremists. So that was bad. No, really, not a joke. Why did the duck cross the road? Because it was stapled to the chicken. See, that's a joke. Why, I remember this one time when I was a little boy, and my daddy said to me, Joey, it's never a good time to make decisions when your shoes are muddy. And so that's why, what am I doing here? Oh, right, that's why I'm running for re-election. We have to finish the job. You can't quit before you pluck the chicken. That's what my pa always said. So vote for me, Joe Biden, for U.S. Senate. Wait, I mean president.
So, you know, I saw an interview with him today and it wasn't all that long ago. It was for his vice president. It was like from 2006. And if you just listen to his voice now and his voice then, you would not know that that was the same person.
No, he's really lost, not a step. He's lost a mile or two.
His face is even different.
There is a.
That's just the body double.
Yeah. Well, you know, really, I wasn't even thinking. I kind of have heard those conspiracy theories, you know, of course we all have. And today I went, maybe there's something to that. Because he looks and sounds totally different.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he's like 80.
I know.
Okay?
But that was 20 years ago. He was 60.
But the man has had more work done to him than most Buicks.
Entirely possible. None of that is, what do you call it?
He was bald in 1988.
I know.
All right. His teeth were uneven. He's had new choppers installed. The man is entirely a media creation, and he spent more on plastic surgery than the average Kardashian. He probably has to zip into his skin. Oh, wait. Now we're up into David Icke.
Now you're into David Icke territory. You know, David, it all sounds very credible, except till you get to the part where they're all reptiles. That makes you sound crazy.
All right. Well, it is time for.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Braying Jackass of the Week.
And please ignore the fact that Joe Biden and Neil Young sound a lot alike.
Yeah.
You ever notice how you never see them both together? Yeah, because they're both me.
So I have seen them together. Number one, AOC's handlers have seemingly left her out of the box too long because she managed to escape to an interview on the inside was Jen Psaki on MSNBC.
The Red Rhinoceros.
The Red Rhinoceros, whose picture I used in order to advertise this. Our show tonight. Does she say anything in the clip?
I don't think so. Maybe a little bit.
Oh wow. Even a little bit of the Red Rhinoceros is all we need. And everyone's favorite bartender had this to say on the First Amendment and freedom of the press. Take it away, Horseface.
I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence.
Hello, McFly. Fox News isn't broadcast. That's cable. You're muted.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I figured nobody wants.
I could hear you, but no one else could.
Yeah, Mark. Just talk about this.
No, she's completely wrong. She doesn't understand First Amendment
or incitement.
She doesn't even understand what violence is.
Well,
no, Tucker told people to pray. How violent.
Well, you've got to understand that the kids nowadays have all been taught that free speech doesn't cover anything that the Democrats dislike. So if it's false, like, Hunter Biden's laptop, that's proven, so it needs to be suppressed. It needs to be censored, except it was true. And so that's... No, sorry. I'm getting on a soapbox and Braying Jackass of the week. I'll stop.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
No,
Okay.
I know, and they have that old childhood saying about sticks and stones backwards, because now it's words will break my bones, but
no.
So I heard I was
that's
reading
their attitude.
I was reading an article.
Words are
right,
just about
right.
being beaten to death.
I was reading an article earlier, and it was about the debate team from James Madison University. James freaking Madison University's debate team. And they were wanting to cancel a speaker whose speech they'd been invited by a university club to speak. I can't remember the person's name, but it was about transgender stuff, because it always is, right? So they had already moved the event off campus, and they still wanted the event canceled by the university because they were just wrong and misinformation, and everything was bad about that, and they shouldn't be able to say it. And it was actually Reason Magazine that posted this, and Reason said, the author of the Federalist Papers and the Constitution, James Madison, for whom your university is named, would tell you that if you are absolutely right about this, then you should show up and counter her ideas, your speaker's ideas, with your own. If only there were a word for that. Yeah. Anyway.
Debate. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Number 2. It took a long time to get to number 2. Speaking of escaping, the vice president is the gift that keeps on giving, because she has also been spotted on the wild. Here she appears in an interview on Telemundo to speak about the abortion bill issue that has been before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, just like regular court, but with sour cream. And tomatoes. See if you can spot her Kamalaism.
On the mifepristone issue, it's politicians finding a court, targeting a specific court that they thought would be helpful to them, to take a medication off the market which was approved 20 years ago by the Federal Drug Administration.
Did you catch it?
No.
The Federal Drug Administration?
Oh, Federal Drug Administration.
Yeah. A bureaucracy in the federal government that doesn't actually exist. Because it's the Food and Drug Administration. I mean, there's a reason why Kamala is always number 2.
Fecal matter.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right.
That's just her IQ.
All right. So, Mark, number 1 or number 2? And everyone listening, feel free to chime in as well.
I'm going to have to go with number 1 this week. I mean, Kamala's, she's an idiot, and she said something idiotic, but AOC is, I mean, she's advocating for
She is
destroying
something dangerous. Yeah, you're right.
She's advocating for destroying the First Amendment.
Yes, indeed. I think I haven't heard from the online audience, so I think we're going to have to go with, and I agree 100%, with AOC. The good news is she already has the face
And this
for
is
it.
oh, sorry. What's that?
No, the good news is she's already got the face for it.
That's right. So she's got the rear. Now she's won the rear end because she already had the front end.
No, she got that too. Anyway.
Was that it? Did you have anything more to say?
I think it's time for.
Okay. Well, no, wait. We haven't closed it yet.
Oh.
And this has been Neil Young's Braying Jackass of the Week. Okay, now you can say it.
It's time for.
Think real fast.
Jacinda Ardern, former totalitarian Prime Minister of New Zealand, is going to study extremist content, leadership, and artificial intelligence at Harvard for a semester. Mark, how far will Harvard standards drop?
I don't know. They're pretty low already.
The missus with teeth like Jacinda's, do you think she eats oats like a horse?
Absolutely. And the second thing is how are they going to teach her this? Are they going to take a dorm room, weld her into the room, and not let her out until she decides to take an experimental drug that may or may not cause you to bleed constantly from both eyes and grow hair on your palms?
I would vote. Well, no, but it's
that would certainly be a good teaching experience, wouldn't it?
You're jumping ahead.
Okay.
All right. Item 2. Pope Francis has said that he will allow five women from Catholic orders and 35 from other Catholic organizations to vote in the next bishops' meeting. Mark, do you think we'll start a long overdue return to burning witches at the stake?
Sure, one can only hope.
Excellent. The missus, will they keep their funny hats or move into ball caps or maybe even trucker hats?
I was going to say trucker hats, I think. Maybe, though. Maybe top hats that match their shoes. I think that's the way to go.
No one.
Maybe they should dress like Sean Connery. What's that movie he's in where he's got the bandoliers across his chest? He's wearing a Speedo.
That'd be Zardoz.
Yes, Zardoz. And knee-high boots, yes.
Yep.
So my question is the Pope able to define what is a woman?
I don't think we know that. So we'll have to find the Pope and the pizza on the next episode.
And the Pope has this to say about that.
We have top men working on it right now.
And speaking of finding the Pope and the pizza, the Bank of England economist, his name is Hugh, H-U-W, Pill, but it's, like this very British-looking guy. Bank of England economist Hugh Pill says that workers should just accept that they're poor and stop trying to pass on rising costs by raising prices and stop demanding better wages. Mark, how can you not believe that Marie Antoinette was reincarnated into the body of a guy named Hugh?
Oh, gosh. Because there's so many other tyrants.
Indeed.
And she at least invited them to eat cake. You people will eat the bugs and you will damn well like it. Those are the ones right there. They're delicious. With milk.
That's true. That's true. If we all eat bugs, maybe we won't be annoyed by crickets.
We'll just be out looking for them because we're starving to death. We've just taken over from you here tonight, honey.
Yep. You're going to like your question.
Okay.
How is it that the word economist is a synonym for enormous throbbing sphincter?
Well, you don't want to look that up to see the picture that's next to it in the dictionary.
All right. Well, it might be Prime Minister Justine Trudeau, she, hers, told a group of students at the University of Ottawa.
Wait. You mentioned Justin Trudeau.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Okay. Told a group of students at the University of Ottawa that he didn't force anyone to get vaccinated, noting, I study English literature, so words really matter to me. I tend to defer to the actual definitions of words when I use them. So he says.
So that's another thing he will always stand. He will never stand up for.
Yes, indeed, exactly that. Just like what's the definition of was? Mark, did I bring out the enormous throbbing sphincter title a little too early?
I think so. Yeah. No, I mean, probably technically he's correct. He never stood there with a gun to somebody's head to force them to take the vax. He just directed a bunch of other people to do that.
Well, or you'd lose your job, lose your child, lose your
Oh,
ability
I
to go
know.
Your
outside.
insurance, they'd seize your bank account, but it
Yep.
was always your choice.
Always.
It's like Clinton with what is. Or,
Yep. This is your question. If Satan ate souls, would Justin's be an appetizer or be the same thing as fasting?
Well, certainly if it was his brain, it would be fasting. Soul, he probably got rid of that a long time ago, so there's probably nothing there.
he
either.
sold it to the devil a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows it.
That's how in the span of 7 years, you go from substitute drama teacher to prime minister. Okay. New Yorkers are freaking out that it costs $1 million a day to house all the illegals Texas is sending them. And leftist New Yorkers are seething, wanting to send these illegals back to where they came from. Mark, is it too late to send AOC back where she came from?
There's got to be a bar looking for a bartender somewhere.
No, I'm sure. In her case, I would support a retroactive abortion.
Well, we can always send her off to Wakanda.
See, I told you, it's been my position for a long time that I think parents should be able to abort their children at any time. I mean, any time in their lives. So be careful how you treat your mom and dad.
So the missus, your question. Why
Yes.
do New Yorkers hate diversity?
Because they like diversity on paper, not so much when it's in their backyard. And as for having lived in Texas for a while, as for you New Yorkers bitching about immigration, all I can say is this.
Oh no. Anyway.
Yeah.
So you're telling me Juan in the hand is worth two in the bush?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And actually, some of them initially said, "Oh, great, we'll have a taco stand on every corner." Literally, that's the way they think. But I'll just stop right there. The U.S. dollar has now dropped from being used in half. It was used in about 90% of transactions in the world. To now, it's just a little less than half of international business transactions.
Quick question:
Today,
Are transactions actions but in address?
we'll have to ask Justina.
Okay.
Today, Argentina decided to drop the dollar and pay for their international transactions in Chinese yuan. Mark, does the yuan have far too many vowels in a row to be a real word?
Yes. Yes, they should have done it something short like yan.
Or yen?
Yen. No, that would copy the Japanese.
Then they'd have something else to hate the Japanese for.
Maybe they could call it a yen.
China.
Yen instead of a yen. Nobody would get confused over yin versus yen.
Or they should have gotten yang. They could have a yin and a yang. All right.
Or maybe they could have called it something a little bit more different. So instead of yen, chen, because Chinese instead of Japanese, or chin. They could chin. Then if you had a lot of chins, the Chinese currency, then you would talk about having many chins.
And Tim notes it could be a yank, and then Tadano Hito notes it could be a yang. So a yank and a yang.
Yeah, well, that's
Yang's
true.
yank.
How about a yink yank? Huh?
The missus?
Yeah.
Would Argentina be a good stripper name?
Absolutely, it would be. Yes.
Right.
I'm sorry. Did I need to have something else for that?
No, just it was a yes or no question.
Well, especially if they're using yanks for currency.
Well, Tim said that the yank should be currency for the United States.
Is the yank the currency and the yank is the paper money?
Pretty soon, I think we've gone off into Seuss territory.
I think so.
The sun Did
Well,
not
maybe
find
they're
it
for
was too
different
much to play.
denominations. Like, how
So
many
he
yinks
sat
do you
back.
need to get a yank?
And what am I doing here?
And then they came out, thing 1 and thing 2.
And everyone knows it.
Okay. All right. I think we're off the rails again. And we're 15 minutes into it. So, on that note,
Think real fast.
thanks everyone once again for coming into Mom's Bants with Wednesday Rants. Hopefully next month, no, next week I won't be so stuffy.
Maybe you'll sound less like you need to take a decongestant.
Yes.
Yes.
This one's covered in gummy worms.
Yes.
So I'm John Wilder. I'm out.
That's all, folks. Bye.
And you leave me to walk it up to the post. Because I'm the responsible adult in the room. Y'all come back now, you hear?